Because like, look at him. You just seen that scene where he's
bent over a table.
Now, you see that sandstorm?
Yeah, that was pretty heavy on the CGI.
Yeah. Now, George Miller has said that he's used some green screen, some CGI effects, and I mean, if you have to, for a sandstorm, that is one of the better sandstorms I've seen. Yeah. But you know how I am with practical effects. You know, there's two ways to go. You have the practical Terminator that is behind Cousin Wayne right here, and then you also have the CG effect of Caesar, okay, or motion capture. So technology can help a movie, but when you go a little too crazy, yeah. I don't know.
I think it makes like a good highlight.
Yeah, it makes a good, a tool.
Exactly. Just make it look prettier.
Make it look pretty, but do you know, in the writing stage, the earliest writing stage for a Mad Max movie, pen to paper, you have to write a Mad Max movie tomorrow. Do you even think of this epic sandstorm in your movie?
Yeah, I would actually.
Would you really?
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, you're in the middle of a wasteland. There's nothing else there but dirt and sand. A storm kicks through, all that loose stuff's going to come up and just fly everywhere.
Yeah, do you think on that much of an epic scale, though, that we see in the trailer?
Possibly.
Okay, see, that's where
That's going to be the first thing that pops in my head. But.
Yeah, that's where I kind of like, I don't know, I would probably be more the practical guy that sits down and I'm like, because this movie was $50 million budget. Sweet. Okay, so yeah, does it need that for a Mad Max movie? I don't know.
It doesn't need it now.
Yeah, it doesn't need it. I mean, as long as you're showing me these awesome cars crashing into each other, stuntmen, practical effects, I'm having a blast. I don't know if I need this giant sandstorm, but if
it would be kind of cool. I mean, think about it. You're being chased. It'd be like Han Solo going into the asteroid field to get away from the Empire.
Yeah.
I mean,
so as long as it serves a story, you know, I'm cool with it. And like I said, if I'm in the theater having 80% fun, Mad Max is like driven all over this desert with this crazy cult following him, I'll take the sandstorm. You know, it's not going to bother me. Because I'm having fun. Exactly. If I'm having fun in the theater, throw all the CG effects you want at me, as long as I'm having fun. But if I'm not having fun, that's going to stand out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
You're not going to be able to look over that.
So what do you think about Furiosa here? We know that that's Charlize Theron's character's name. Do you have any idea what she might be in the story?
I have no idea. There's not a whole lot of female lead characters in any. Yeah. Well, except for Beyond Thunderdome. You know, you have Tina Turner doing her thing. But.
Yeah. And the reason I bring her up to such a degree, though, is like the movie was going to be called, they're going to shoot a sequel. So they're going to shoot 2 movies back to back. And the second one was going to be called Furiosa. So she is going to be a huge, element to this franchise, it seems like, this new franchise. So
it'd be kind of a trip if she was related to Mad Max in some way. I mean.
That's Goose from Mad Max 1. No, I like your idea. I like your idea of the feral girl, all grown up. You see another section of that of Charlize Theron's robotic hand.
Okay, yeah, I definitely see it's robotic.
You know, so it looks like there's something there, like some kind of what would you say, like a vice or a wrench on it. You know, a winch. I mean, so I'm very curious to see how that comes into play. And this could be one of those small things that really doesn't even matter to the story.
Yeah,
it's just I'm reading too much into it right now, which could totally be it. But I'm curious. You know, especially since she's such a big character in this Furio, her title name. You know,
it's almost like she's got a Bruce Campbell thing going on.
Yeah, something like that. And I have seen a movie still where that is off, and she has no arm. So I'm very curious to see where all that leads up to. And you see later that she's like this savior of these hot chicks walking the desert. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, it'll come up. I believe it's in this trailer. So did you see those guys on the poles? Like they were...
just swinging around, kind of like basically pole vaulting from one
vehicle
to another.
That's pretty interesting.
That's very awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, I don't think I'd be the asshole
up
there doing that. I want to be the guy driving. I would never do that. But what's really interesting is they'd probably use these for like larger vehicles, like Road Warrior when he has that semi.
Yeah,
those would come in handy when you're having to try to get on top of a large rig like that.
You're on one of these little dune buggies close to the ground.
Yeah.
That maybe it just looks cool.
So check that out. You have Mad Max, man. He gets I'm sorry. This looks like the biggest I don't know, man. They should have called this as like Mad Max's very bad, horrible day.
They drank my piss and tied me to the front of a car.
Yeah, they drink his piss. They tie him to the front of a car.
Checked out his junk.
Yeah, they checked out his junk.
Tattoos.
They flipped his car. and a chameleon was trying to sneak up on him at the beginning of the movie, trying to gang
That's
him.
at least his problems right now. That's the last thing going through his head.
Right this is really cool. I believe this guy in the background, he looks like, you ever seen the movie Powder back in the day? He looks like the guy from Powder.
But more of a...
Yeah. He looks like the guy from Powder, which was, it's been a long time since I've seen that movie, and I don't want to ever see that again. No. But the guy from Powder, he was like an alien, wasn't he? Was he just an albino?
He was an albino.
You know what? Screw it.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, I don't give a damn about Powder. We're not going to talk about that. But the guy from Powder, the movie Powder, looks like he's in the back of this like dune buggy, and it looks like
except for that one patch on his forehead.
Yeah, he looks like a methed out Powder, doesn't he?
Kind of does.
Like a methed out Powder, and
that would have made the movie interesting.
Yeah, but you know who that actor is? Have you ever watched X-Men First Class, Days of Future Past?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Nicholas Hoult. That's Hank McCoy.
Oh no.
Beast. Yeah. So, yeah, they shaved his head,
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. But, yeah, so it's pretty cool to see Nicholas Hoult do something else besides Beast, and, like, he looks like he's totally into the character.
Yeah, you can't even tell us really.
Yeah. So, but Mad Max is, like, he's tied to the front of this car, going God knows how many miles per hour down this desert road. Imagine this huge desert storm coming towards him. I mean, he's having a very, very bad day. Yeah, did you see that guy right there? That's Toe Cutter.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool that he just harkens back to his first movie and brings him in. But look at this shot, dude. This is practical. This is beautiful. Why, if there is a hardcore, CG spectacle of a sandstorm, I'm not going to care that much because I get shots like this. Look at that.
Yeah, that beautiful overview.
Overview of all these practical effects, all these cars. Look at all these parts, man. That is all practical. That's parts. Flying through the air because they just crashed into another vehicle. That makes me pee a little bit.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
It's awesome.
See these chicks here? Yeah, so she's some kind of savior or something to these chicks. Yeah. So I'm very curious because if you noticed, what do you think about these girls in the trailer? Because they have... they're very pristine. They're very clean looking.
Yeah.
Looks like, they don't look like anybody else in this movie. They almost look like goddesses or something.
Yeah, they kind of do. I mean, some kind of revered.
Yeah. So do you think that there's some kind of revered? Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think about these girls here? These ladies in the desert?
I could either add something good to it or add something bad to it. It all depends on where they take it. I mean, it could be maybe something more precious than gasoline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they are...
Vagina?
Yeah, you just say the vagina.
Yeah. And I have seen some other stills of them wearing chastity belts. And then, maybe there's... well, you know how they branded Mad Max and said that he was,
a road warrior. Maybe he's like some kind of post-apocalyptic nuns of some sort. I mean,
so I'm kind of very curious to see where they go with that, see how that plays into this story. And that's where it gets really crazy. Is that the car gets sucked up into the tornadoes and the fires?
That does look cool. I mean, even for a...
Yeah. And again, if I'm having fun, I forget it. I'll roll with it, man. Man, look at all that.
That is
just
awesome.
Carnage, man. I think that's the perfect word for this trailer.
Yeah.
Just straight up carnage.
Just one badass moment after the other.
It's... Well, my back says Road Warrior. That's my name. But dude, tell me what, man. 2015, it releases in, May 15th of 2015. Yeah. I am so pumped for this movie.
I am too. I mean, I'm really excited to see this. I think it'll be...
It looks like Road Warrior, though, doesn't it?
It does.
It looks like it takes the best parts of Road Warrior, and he's just running with it, man.
Mm-hmm. It almost does look like I know it's not what it's supposed to be, but it does look like a Road Warrior reboot.
Yeah, it does. It does. And that's, it's like a lot of people, when you talk Star Wars, their favorite Star Wars is Empire Strikes Back. You talk Mad Max, most people say Road Warrior is their favorite. Yeah. So it's nice to go back to this time where, George Miller, he said that before he wrote a screenplay for this, he did storyboards. Okay? Mm-hmm. So the guy didn't even have a script. He just had storyboards of cars crashing into each other.
And he just wrote a story around that.
Yeah, story. Yeah. That's so awesome. He said that he wants people in Japan to watch this movie and without subtitles and know what's going on every minute of the movie.
See, that'd be awesome.
Dude, that's awesome. So he said this is like his chase movie. Mm-hmm. And, like you see this trailer and it's nonstop. And supposedly from the beginning of this movie to the end, it is like Road Warrior, where it's this huge chase movie. And it's just the movie's constantly moving. And that's all you get. Action.
Well, how many kids movies has he done here lately?
Oh, that's funny, yeah. George Miller has directed Happy Feet 1, Happy Feet 2, and he's also Babe Big in the City. So it's like, you watch this trailer and you see so much pin-up frustration.
Yeah, this guy's just ready to blow.
Yeah. And he directed the original Mad Max movies.
Yeah, so you know he's got kind of a warped mind, you know?
It's like someone made him direct Happy Feet 1 and 2 and Babe Pig in the City. And they're like,
pay the bills.
Yeah, you ever seen Old Boy?
Yes.
Okay, you know when they keep...
you had me watch that.
Yeah, you know when they keep the lead in that apartment building for, what was it, 20 years? I don't even know. But they keep him locked up for like 15, 20 years. And then one day, they just let him go, you know? And it's like, what the hell?
He's like...
Yeah, it reminds me of this, like, George Miller. Someone made him direct Happy Feet 1 and 2 and Babe Pig in the City, and they're like,
here you go.
You're free now. What do you want to do? And he's like, carnage everywhere, sandstorms, electricity.
I don't even give a shit about the story.
Yeah, storyboards.
And they're going to drink his piss.
He's like, calm down, George. And that's hilarious. And I was reading the premise of this movie. The premise on Wikipedia cracks me up, okay? $150 million, okay? Can I read the premise?
Go for it.
Mad Max meets Furiosa, a woman who wishes to cross the desert. That cracks me up, dude. It's like, who pays that check? Who writes that check?
150 million sold.
Yeah. Okay, it's like, let's bring Mr. Happy Feet. Okay. Okay, so you can do whatever you want. What do you want to do? Well, I got this idea for a new Mad Max movie. He meets a lady
and takes her across the desert.
Yeah, takes her across the desert. Like, sounds cheap. How much? 150 big ones. Like, all right. So it's just cars. He's like, cars crashing into cars. Robot hands. Sandstorm. Done.
And chicks in chastity belts.
Yeah, chicks in chastity belts, and they drink his piss. And they're like,
that's awesome.
So
maybe George Miller to suck his dick first.
You know, with that said, I guess Mel Gibson lost interest around sometime 2000. How do you feel about Mel Gibson not being in this?
I am fine and dandy with it. He has just gone downhill. He's got the Nicolas Cage syndrome. I mean, it's just all these great actors who are at one time just awesome and everything. They've just gone really, really far downhill.
Yeah, but there's a part of me that, would like to see Mad Max come back and do this.
I don't think he would be up for it anymore.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, he's just not hungry, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know? The guy's loaded. He's doing his own thing. He's done some, couple of really great films here and there, and he just doesn't have it in him anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what it would have been like with him. But if they have to recast, Tom Hardy, man, I think he's going to be a great Mad Max, and I hope we have many adventures. I hope that they just don't stop making Mad Max. I want this to be a
continuance.
I want this as a every couple years, every 2 years, man. I want a new Mad Max movie, man. Exactly. I like this world. I think
this is the first time I've been able to say this, but I think Tom Hardy is a better Mad Max than
he might be. He might be. Mad Max, props to Mad Max. Mel Gibson, he was the original Mad Max.
Yeah.
He did a great job. He brought us into this, but man, Tom Hardy has a fire in him, man.
He does. He's just got that go to hell. Yeah. You can drink my piss.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that, man. I think it's going to be good. And then this is really cool. George Miller said his main inspiration for this was Akira.
Really?
Yeah. So that's one of my favorite animes, So just to think that George Miller is thinking about Akira. He's thinking about practical effects, Yeah. And he gets Tom Hardy. It seems like all this is just working for us.
Yeah.
It just seems like someone knows what they're doing. Yeah. And I'm glad that this movie is going to exist. And I can't wait to see if it lives up to Pantheon level like the trailer shows.
I really hope so. I usually don't keep my hopes up, but I've really got them up for this, and I'm ready.
I'm ready. All right, well, that's a wrap, man. Thanks, Cousin Wayne, for coming on, talking some Mad Max.
No problem. I'd
like to talk to you about Mad Max 1, Road Warrior, and Beyond Thunderdome in the coming weeks.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Well, that's a wrap, guys. Thanks for listening to us rant and rave about these cult members drinking pee, which I doubt that's going to happen. I don't know. Who does that? Who does that?
Cult members in a post-apocalyptic future?
Anything can happen in the apocalypse. Okay, I don't care if you're Cousin Wayne, Brad. People are going to take advantage of you.
Oh, yeah, especially if you're Ben Overdale.
I don't care if you're John McClane, John Wayne, or Mad Max. If you got genitals,
keep them covered.
That's what it looks like, right? That's what it looks like. All right, peace out.